Today we're exploring the idea of whether Bitcoin is too expensive or whether in fact it still offers value in the long term. And in doing so, we want to talk a bit about what it actually is, why you would buy it, and importantly, when or how you would go about that process. So let's start with what is it? What is Bitcoin? And that's actually a fairly big question because it's such a revolutionary technology that it takes quite a bit to get your head around. But in short, this is the first digital currency to ever exist that I can send across the internet, peer to peer, person to person, from me to you without the need for a bank or PayPal or credit card acting as an intermediary, a third party who could intervene. So it's more like cash, me buying something from you at the market in that private, personal way, but it can be done across the globe. So it's a revolutionary technology. It's a scarce asset. There's only 21 million of them that will ever exist. That is hard capped. It is arguably the only finite resource on Earth. So that is extremely attractive, as is any scarce resource like a Pokemon card that goes for $16 million or the Mona Lisa. There will only ever be 21 million of these. And it's also a network made up of millions of miners and node operators and developers and exchanges and users and buyers across the world. So it outstrips any other network, and it's the most secure network on Earth that is protected by more energy than exists on the planet to be able to break it. There's a lot of detail we could get into in all of that. I would urge you to go and research more. Let's talk about why you would buy it. Well, at the government level, it's being acknowledged and recognized by regulation and law. America is leading the charge there, but in every country now, there's a level of regulation in place that now acknowledges this as a legitimate asset class. It is being adopted by institutions, by hedge fund managers, by fund managers and high net worth individuals and even nation states, and of course at the individual level, again across the world. So the recognition at the user level is there and expanding. And again, it's this network that is exploding and the infrastructure is exploding, making it more and more user-friendly every day. So the real question around why is that, to paraphrase Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin, maybe you want to buy some just in case this thing takes off. In terms of when do you buy, so this question of is it too expensive at this point in time, at any given point in time, needs to be taken in context. Whenever we're in a bull market, people think it's too expensive. Whenever we're in a bear market, people think it's too cheap and it's going to zero. Bear in mind, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. Each Bitcoin is divided into 100 million Satoshis, what's known as Satoshis, or sats for short. And so you can buy a part of a Bitcoin. So you can buy just $20 worth of Bitcoin, $100 worth of Bitcoin. So you don't have to buy a total amount. So the best way to go about this, that's recommended, is to what's known as dollar cost averaging, which is to buy a regular amount on a regular basis. So a standard amount on a regular basis, something like $10 or $20 every day or every week or every month at the same time. And that is proven to be the most effective strategy for smoothing out the highs and the lows, so you never have to stress about the question, is it too expensive? So, bottom line is, I would argue we're actually asking the wrong question here. The question is not, is it too expensive? The question is, do I want a small exposure to one of the most revolutionary technologies the Earth has ever seen?